Peace and grand rising to the air. I am Justice Pauline Denise Ritchie in Capitis Diminucio Nolo in propria persona sui juris, in proprio solo, and in proprio heredes. My chosen free appellation is Light Tajiri Bay in Capitis Diminucio Nolo in propria persona sui juris, in proprio solo, and in proprio heredes. No United States Corporation Company citizen, nor their agents, principals, heirs, nor assigns have personam jurisdiction over me, nor over any of the Moors. I'm not sure if you all are aware, we talked about this briefly on one of the other calls, but has anyone been feeling the energy shift that recently happened? Some of the feelings that you may have been experiencing and may be experiencing, they're temporary, but they're feelings nonetheless, is sluggishness, feeling tired. Some have had to go within completely and get quiet in their spirit because of the energy shift. Has anyone been feeling that? I know I spoke with some of the empresses and emperors who are having that feeling.
Yes, and double yes. I am so hard on myself this week. I'm like, I know better. I know what work I have to finish. But I just, I'm going inside. But the thing about it is, the ancestors are just showing me just all the stuff that I need. So I'm on pause right now. And as much as I want it to get done, they're like, no, we're going to give you all the information before you go for it. But so I'm just so thankful to know it's not just me.
Yes, Islam. It's been, let me tell you exactly what that is. So that shutdown sort of feeling, I was talking to one of the emperors 2 nights ago who said that he had to shut down for 2 days straight and do absolutely nothing but stay in bed. And that was on the 8th and the 9th of October 1441 or 2020. And that was the day between the 8th and the 9th is the day, actually on the 9th, on Friday the 9th, at just after 7 a.m., the entire fake corporate system shut down. The whole thing collapsed. And when I say collapsed, I mean completely collapsed. Collapsed. Because there's an energy that's behind that system, or that was behind that system. And they've been hanging in there and trying to, hoping that we wouldn't, and I don't know if they were hoping we wouldn't wake up because they're done. But it's done. It's finished. And all we have to do now is just, like Empress, what you talked about the ancestors giving us the answers we need, that's what this time is about. It's about getting the answers we need. All we have to do is just listen to what the ancestors are saying, and they will give us the answers, Grand Rising Empress. They will give us the answers that we need to make whatever it is that we're pursuing, whatever it is that we see for ourselves. All we have to do now is keep demonstrating, and the ancestors are going to give us everything we need. And the wait is over for us. The wait is over. All we have to do is keep standing and keep demonstrating, because there was an energy behind that system that, because the heirs have been waking up so quickly, and there's still millions of us that have not awakened all the way, but that's okay. They're going to wake up soon too, and they're turning in their sleep. You know how right before you wake up, you start turning and, moving a little bit, and then you open your eyes and everything is a bit hazy, and you look around and you realize where you are and all of that. That's what's happening now with the heirs that were previously in, fast asleep.
Wow.
Yeah. And so that whole system was it wasn't really a system as much as it was an energy.
Mm-hmm.
And energy is a system.
Mm-hmm.
Energy is a system. Whenever they would cast a spell, yes, whenever they would cast a spell, you would feel the energy that would make you do certain things or feel certain things or say certain things.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever they would cast a spell, and they didn't even have to be there in person. They would just send it in the mail, and the energy that they sent with that fake corporate paper would have us really, it would cast the spell. Yes, it would cast the spell.
Yes, it would.
Even watching TV.
Yes. The energy from that system came, think about that, though, the Empress. That's powerful, because the TV is how they programmed us, aside from the education system and the use of the fiat.
Mm-hmm.
The TV was the main programmer that told us how we're supposed to live, or how we thought we were supposed to live.
And took us through different channels.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. That was a guidance system, but it guided us the wrong way.
Yeah.
They knew they were in trouble when people started turning off their TVs.
Yeah, because I'm one of them.
Yes. I am too, Empress. I turned off the TV, and the atmosphere in the house changed when the TV got turned off.
Yeah, I just turned on my 70s music, and the energy just changed, a different energy, different vibe.
Yes. Yep. Throughout the whole house, the domicile.
Yes, ma'am.
That lets you know that they were casting spells.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they call it broadcasting.
It sure do.
And now we're broadcasting. Now the heirs are broadcasting.
Mm-hmm.
Every time one of us gets on social media and declares who we are and talks about nationality, that's broadcasting. It's casting and breaking spells.
Mm-hmm.
And we were so tied into that system over there that when it collapsed, that main part that had us bound, when that system collapsed at that time, October 8th and 9th, around there, we felt it. All of us felt it. We still are feeling the residuals of that.
Mm-hmm. You're talking about
That's
October 8th and 9th of this year?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. It was falling the whole time, because it's built on paper. So it was falling the minute the heirs, and again, there are heirs who've been doing this work for 20 and 30 and 40 years, waiting for the rest of us to wake up. And when we woke up and started doing what we're doing, you know, it just it helps in terms of breaking the spells that system casts on us.
Mm-hmm.
And now there's so many of us that are doing the work, and even anyone who goes on social media, because those are the airwaves now. That's the broadcast system now.
Mm-hmm.
And when we go out there and just put up a document, just one document,
yes,
there's going to be somebody who sees that one document, and their energy is going to change, just like ours did when we were watching TV.
Exactly. Just like my profile, I changed my cover page, and I put moorishe American, Muskogee Nation, Creek Nation. And I am that I am, and I always will be. So a lot of people ask me questions about that. So
it changed their energy when they saw it.
Yeah, they asked questions. A guy was asking me a question yesterday. He said, I never heard of being Moorish. I said, well, you're Moorish American. And I don't want to say too much about it because I can't even get my sealed documents in. I want to have my stuff in order before I try to bring somebody else in.
Well, Empress, order your own seal. All governments should have their own seal.
Ma'am?
You are the consulate. You're it.
Oh, okay.
You're the consulate. You're the court.
Oh, okay.
You don't have to. You can, and people do. But you're the consulate. All Moors are the government.
So where do I buy a seal? Because I've been waiting on like 3 or 4 months for my documents to come back, and they haven't came back.
So, okay. So what you can do is there's artwork out on the Internet that you can give to any of the stamp makers, and they will make a seal, an embosser for you. So go out onto the Internet and Google Moorish Great Seal or Great Seal of the Moors. And you'll see seals come up. You'll see sealed artwork come up. Just take that artwork and in fact, I'll go ahead and put in the chat. Can you see the chat, Empress? I don't know if you can see the chat.
No, I'm on my phone, so I can't see it.
Okay, because I was going to put a link to the artwork that we use, our government artwork. But it's out there on social media, and we're actually having it decapitalized right now. In fact, the decapitalization is probably sitting in my email today, as a matter of fact.
So do you have
making it so that it's in all lowercase letters and in red.
Oh, okay. So you're going to post it on your page when you...
I am. Yes, I am. It's going right out there. Yes, I sure am.
All right. I'm going to send you a friend request so I can be on the lookout for it.
Yes, Islam. Please do. Like Tajiri Day on Facebook.
Okay.
And on YouTube. So, you know, again, this time is the time where everything, all of the things that we've been looking to manifest can and will and are, it's already manifesting. We just have to continue standing tall and demonstrating our nationality. That's it. And then write down whatever it is that you're wanting to manifest, whether it be commerce, and for most of us it is commerce. And for me, it's just the standing and manifesting of our nation, period.
No. Yeah.
You know,
because like my situation, I have a land patent on where I domicile, and I want to put all of that in a trust because I adopted my granddaughter. I want to make sure she's taken care of when I transition and things like that.
Yeah.
Ma'am?
Go ahead, Empress. I'm listening. Sorry. I'm listening. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I want to learn how to do that because we as a people normally don't leave anything but debt behind for our children. So I want to leave an inheritance for my children's children.
Well, and see, we were thinking debt was ours, and none of that debt was ours ever. None of it.
Yeah, I need to figure out how to, well, I've been studying about how to discharge debt. So I want to get this mortgage discharged. I have 2.5 years left on it, but I still, knowing what's going on, that I don't owe this money or fiat. I want to get it discharged.
However you're led to do that. Discharge has not been a thing that we have promoted only because of the fake system. That fake system is not honorable where discharge is concerned. However, the system has changed. And now when you're anything that we were doing previously in that system that was not working, when we turn to our own system, it will work because we're in charge of the system, the financial system.
You're saying like the United States of America, it has returned to the Republic?
The Republic always was. It's just that those who were a part of it didn't stand up and say we are. Because, see, the Republic is beholden to the Moors.
Yeah.
And when the Moors stand up and say who we really are and begin to govern in a unified manner like we are right now, then it appears magically, you know.
So what is the new system that works now? To accept it for value, or something else that I haven't came across yet?
Affidavits. We speak by affidavit. We speak by affidavit. Do the study on the affidavits, because a lot of those forms and things that people do for discharge, those forms don't work because the system that designs the forms is done. It's finished. So you want to look at those forms. Don't fill them out ever. Don't sign them. Don't even write on them. But look at what the form is talking about and asking for, and then craft an affidavit that responds to all of that, but the language has to be sovereign, original, indigenous language, such as where the form asks for a name, you put an appellation on your affidavit. And then where the form asks for an address, we don't have addresses because we're not in a set of KV trust anymore. We are in the trust of ourselves. And so you put a mailing location on your affidavit. So you just look at what it's asking for, and you craft an affidavit that responds to it in competent, sovereign language. Because it's through the language keeps you in the proper jurisdiction, and that's why a lot of our language we were speaking ancient English the whole time. We just didn't know we were speaking ancient English. That's why when we went into those courts and started quoting the law, those fake courts, and started quoting the law, they act like they didn't hear and didn't know what the heck we were talking about. That's why they did that.
Welcome back, you big wind egg.
Because they were speaking corporate English the whole time.
So,
and we were speaking ancient English.
So, like when you do your affidavit, does this require any kind of court appearance, or just mailing to the mortgage company? Or
you are the court, so you must do a court action on them. Have you seen out on YouTube, there are court actions out there. I've done quite a few myself. If you go on to Light Tajiri Bay, that's L-I-G-H-T. Tajiri is T-A-J-I-R-I, and Bay is B-E-Y. If you go out onto my YouTube page, you can see court actions out there and how to do them. All you have to do is write down what I said in the court action, and then put in whoever it is that you're dealing with, and I even show the documents and what the documents look like. A court action only takes about 10 minutes maximum, unless you're doing, you know, a lot of people, a lot of persons, a lot of corporate persons. But we send them a command to appear, and then we hold court, whether they show up or not, because it doesn't matter whether they show up or not. What matters is that we put our sovereign word and our sovereign justice out there on the public record. And when we do that, the universe goes and takes care of everything that we need to have taken care of.
So do I need to have my documents in place, my card and my documents, before I do anything like that?
You don't have to, not necessarily, because, again, your bloodline and birthright is already within you.
Oh, okay.
So there's nothing that can stop us. Whether we have the documents manifested or not is not the issue when it comes to our bloodline and birthright. We've been who we are since before we were born. So you can do things and demonstrate your sovereign status at all times.
Oh, okay.
It's,
wow.
You know, because some of us had stuff going on with these corporate, you know, fakes. We had stuff going on and could not wait for documents to come back. We had to go ahead and do what we needed to do by demonstrating our nationality, you know. And so we did. We just do it. Whether the documents were there or not, because it's not really the documents that determine what happens with us. It's what comes out of our mouth.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
The bloodline and birthright must match what comes out of our mouths.
Oh, okay.
Because the power of life and death is in our tongue.
Wow.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Always has been.
Wow. Okay. So when I, back to the documents, when I do redo my documents, it calls for 2 Moors that have proclaimed their nationality. I'm here in Alabama. It's Alabama now. I do not know 2 Moors that has proclaimed their nationality. So
there are Moors there. There's groups of Moors in Alabama territory, but whether you have witnesses or not, what about family members? Do you have family members, kin?
Yes, ma'am. I have 2 sons.
Okay. They're Moors. If you're a Moor, they're Moors. You see. And so, just one moment.
Okay.
Okay. That's one of the Moors calling to say unlock their meeting. If you're a Moor, they're Moors. And so they can sign, and all they have to do when they sign is sign their appellation in red ink in all lowercase letters. That's it. And there's your witnesses.
Even the first letter needs to be lowercase?
Yes, even the first letter should be lowercase.
Okay. And even when I sign it, the first letter should be lowercase?
Yes. We use no capital letters at all. None.
Oh, I didn't know that. I see a lot of them. Yeah. A lot of people post their proclamations, and they have uppercase and lowercase.
Yes, and that's we see that. We just learned about the all lowercase in the last probably 10 months, 9 or 10 months. And so again, this is more about energy than it is about the documents, and that's exactly the point that I was making before about what comes out of your mouth and your bloodline and birthright is, you know, the documents. If our intention is pure when we do and sincere, like yours is, and like ours is, when what we do is sincere and we're unselfish and we're thinking about the all, and we're not at war with those people, because we can't war with the subjects, because it's not a fair war, number one. But number two, we're not supposed to war with them. We created them. Why would we war with our creation? We don't need to do that. We need to be competent.
Wow.
We need to be competent. And when we're competent and peaceful, there's nothing that they can do against us. Nothing that they can do against us.
Wow.
And they won't.
So,
that's the thing. They won't.
Oh, okay. Wow. So, like in the whole body of the document, everything is lowercase, even the title of the document?
Yes,
all
lowercase in red. And then whenever you're talking about them, the subject, you put them in black and uppercase because that's capitalism that they're using, they were using. That whole system was based purely on capital letters.
Wow.
It was. That's why they call it capitalism. They openly admit that it's
That's
capitalism.
Something you never think about that because you hear that word so much, capitalism.
Yes. Yep. That whole system, and all they did really was capitalize the sovereign appellations of the heirs and then pretend to be us. That's all they did.
Mm-hmm.
They try to make capitalism sound like it's all these formulas and the stock market formulas and blah, 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 blah. They make it seem like it's really just something we cannot, overstand.
Mm-hmm.
But when you break that thing down, all the way down to the bare minimum, the bare minimum is that all they did was come over here onto this land and see the names of the Christ. They saw the names of the Christ, the sovereign appellations of us at birth. Because, for example, I was born Pauline Denise Ritchie. Well, that's a sovereign-born appellation in all lowercase letters because a sovereign spoke it and I came through a sovereign stargate.
Wow.
Just like we all did.
You might be related to me. I'm related to some Richies.
Really?
Yeah,
you know what? In doing this work, I'm finding so many kin that it's getting to be I love it. Where are the Richies that you're
Columbus,
related
Mississippi.
to? Really?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure because we're Alabama.
Oh, you're in Alabama too?
I was there. I was
part
there.
of Alabama?
And there are Montgomery.
Oh, okay. I live north, closer to Huntsville.
Yes. My mother has a park named after her in Montgomery called Darrington Ritchie Park in Montgomery, Alabama.
Wow. I'll have to look it up the next time I'm that way. There a few years ago, I took my daughter on a field trip.
Yeah. It's, yes. And my father was a minister in Montgomery for many years prior to his transition. So, Reverend Ritchie. Yeah. So, we're going to find out that we're all connected anyway. And we know that already, but to actually see it manifesting like it's manifesting, it's just, I love it. I love it. I love it.
I'm glad I saw you. I saw one of your YouTube videos. That's how I found you. Then I saw you on Facebook, and then I just happened to scroll and saw where you was having a conference call. I said, I'm going to call.
Yes.
Because I need some answers. There's so much out there. You don't know which way to go. So many people tell you so many different things, and then people say they're going to do this and do that, then they never come through. And I'm like, I want to get this done, so I want to get it done for my granddaughter, get her proclamation done and card and all that stuff. So do you get your card from RB Bay, or you get it somewhere else?
I initially got my first one from her, but once we started doing this work, we started doing our own cards, and now we do them in red in all lowercase letters. Justice Abbasi Talib Bey is one of the Moorish, he's Moorish American consulate at Savannah, Georgia territory.
Oh, what is his name?
And since you're Justice Abbasi Talib Bey, that's Abasi.
A-B. S-A-I.
A-B-A-S-I.
Oh, okay.
A-B-A-S-I.
Mhm.
Talib is T-A-L-I-B-I. T-A-L-I-B. Yes, I'm sorry, T-A-L-I-B.
Okay.
Bay.
Okay.
And he did my most recent ID cards as well. They're in red in all lowercase letters, and I'm excited about all of that. And you know, we have a lot, you know, going on. There are many more that are doing ID cards. Justice Tariq in Central Territory does them. Empress Malo does them in Arizona Territory. Who else? There's more doing ID cards all over. And so, you know, when you said something about people saying that they're going to do things and things are not getting done, that is actually the ancestors pointing to you saying those are things you're supposed to be doing. You do them for yourself. That's what our sovereign status is all about. That's what our sovereign status is all about.
To be like authorized through the Moorish government to do it and stuff like that.
You are.
No.
That's what sovereign is. Look up the word sovereign. Look it up, and so you can know who you are and how powerful you are and how the responsibility of governing is right squarely on each of our shoulders.
Oh, okay.
We're never alone.
Well, I'm definitely.
That's why our prophet said we are part and parcel of our government. All of us, each one of us.
Mhm. Wow. Okay. Well, I'm going to get in touch with him about my card. Have you ever heard of Russell J. Gould?
I have.
Yeah. So what do you think about his language thing, the syntax, grammar? Because he was saying all this grammar is wrong. Like when you say aboriginal, ab means no, that means not original. Indigenous, in is like represents no. It's like it's just strange. I just found out about him like 6 or 7 months ago, and I watched his videos, and people are doing these live life claims using his syntax language. Because he's saying the same thing like you. The whole entire language has been messed up, and he decoded the language.
Well, this is what I think about that. I know that they want to be sovereign, but they were not created to be sovereign. And so they've been looking at our ancient records and attempting to recreate our sovereign status in whatever way they can. And all they're really doing is pointing to the things that we've already done. So where parse syntax is concerned, Moors we don't really need that. They're looking at our ancient Phoenician records and saying, this is what they did to be free, so let's do this. And so to them, our ancient records are a code. It is a code for them. But within us, the first record comes from our makeup. That's where the Akashic records lie, within us.
Oh, okay.
And so they're looking at how our ancestors wrote down the things that they wrote down for us that we now know that they're showing us and revealing to us as we continue to keep our spirit sincere and not do the war thing. And just like the Empress was saying at the beginning of the call, that she's getting answer after answer after answer with what she's looking for. Because of this whole energy shift that has taken place as of October 8th and 9th of 2020.
I can feel it.
1441. Yes. That whole system shut down, and we're being given the answers for our system, our ancient system that's always been here. And so The Parse syntax, we don't need it. We do have some rules, some ancient rules that we put in place to make words be what they are. For example, if you have a word that starts with a vowel and has two consonants after it, that means no contract. And he's right in that it means no, but he didn't finish it. It means no contract. That's what it means. And when we use those words like affidavit and indigenous, etc., it means no contract with them.
Oh, okay.
He's saying it means no, but it means no contract.
Wow. Now, isn't that something?
So they always put a half-truth out there. They haven't put the whole truth out there. And then with the word aboriginal, for example, aboriginal, if you ab is a separate word unto itself in Latin.
Because I know they have it in parentheses or in brackets.
Yes, ab unto itself is a separate word. It means from or of. So you are from the original or of the original when you say that you're aboriginal. When you put them together, it means not, and that's what they did when they changed a lot of the languages. They would put things together and put a minus sign that they call a dash or a hyphen. That's a minus sign. It's because all words are math.
Wow.
That's what gematria is. And one of our basic sciences is that words are math. And we are never to use dashes in our language, unless we're talking about them.
Yeah, and I know he said something about italicized words mean it's not there.
They don't exist.
Don't exist, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, if you look at their Bible and you see that they have the words of quote-unquote Jesus italicized in the Bible, does that mean they lied the whole time?
Wow, I never thought about that.
Yes. Think about all of that. I mean, it goes, the word magic and the word play goes deep. And but we know all of that stuff now. We know it now. We know that ancient English sounds like corporate English because they hypothecated ancient English and changed the spellings of the words. So we changed them back.
So, like, if I put the word, which I will, aboriginal and indigenous in my document, do I need to put parentheses around ab and in, or just one whole word?
No, just put a space between ab and original.
Oh, put a space. Okay.
And here's the thing: if you've done it in the past where you put them together and you've already done those demonstrations, don't worry about it. With pure energy, and we can never make a mistake when we're demonstrating our nationality. Let's just get that out there and make that clear. There's never going to be a mistake that you can make when you're demonstrating your sovereign nationality with sincerity and with and with peaceful energy. Can't make a mistake.
Okay. So
and then when you know better, you do better.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to learn, because I did these documents like 10 years ago, and it's all in black ink, signed in black ink. And it's not on
when you
legal
did
paper.
them, if your energy was pure and sincere, which I'm sure it was, just from what I'm hearing, then the ancestors honored it even then. Our processes don't have to be perfect because we're already perfect. We were created perfect.
Amen to that. Yeah. So do you record? Do you record yours at the county courthouse, or you just keep it private? Or
I put it on the Moorishe American Consulate Public Records page, or some of them I just post on social media. Some of them, the majority of them, I post on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Because those are that's where some of my demonstrations are. Others of my demonstrations are. Some of them I do keep just with me, and then others I share with everyone.
Oh, okay. Well, I've seen 2 of your videos. I'm going to have to go and find your channel. Because one of them just popped up, and I've seen it this morning. And I've seen another one another day. And then I noticed your name when I went on Facebook. I said, Richie, okay. I said, I'm gonna, and then you had the conference call on there. I was like, I'm going to call.
Yeah.
Well,
that's what I was saying about the energy changing. Whatever we do, the ancestors are going to put it out there now.
Mm-hmm.
And just expand it. And this is for all Moors.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever we do is going to grow and prosper. And it's going to hit the target that we set for it.
It sure does. Because I do family history, and the ancestors always lead me to find a document, to find something. I remember going to the Montgomery archives, and when I got there, the lady asked me, did I need any help? And I said, yeah, I'm looking for a book on the history of Alabama, something that has the name Alabama in it, because that's what my ancestors called it. And she was a gatekeeper, and she said, honey, Alabama always been called Alabama. I said, no, it hasn't. I said, it was called many names. I said, it was called many names before that. And then she had like a hateful attitude. She said, go down this aisle, blah, 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 all the books about Alabama, anything you want to know right down here on this aisle. And I promise you,
Isn't it funny?
The second book I picked up, it says something about the names of Alabama, the history of Alabama. About the 3rd page, I seen the word Alabama. You know, it's quiet in there like a library. And I said, I found it. And she come over there running. She's like, what is it? I said, I found it. I said, could you make me a copy of this page, please? But it was so funny. I could have bought her for a dime.
Yes, I know. Isn't that fun? That is hilarious. That's hilarious how the ancestors do that. They will, if we seek the way the energies are right now, anything we're looking for, the ancestors are going to show it to us. All we have to do is look.
Yeah, they definitely do. Wow.
Anything we want to do, any place we want to go, the ancestors will manifest it through us.
They sure
because
will.
The energies are, when we wake up and we're unified like we are, it's a wrap. It's done.
It's all right.
The energies have changed. It's done. Yeah.
And just to show, because I did the DNA thing on Ancestry, and it just showed a little tiny amount of indigenous blood, or what they call Indian blood. And I was listening to Yapa Bay one day, and she was saying the smallest marker that you have when you get that result back, that's what you originally are. And I was like, wow.
Well, there's no, those. It's good that you're seeking and want to know. Those don't really tell you the truth, because those are originated, not originated, but created by Albion. So their science, where we're concerned, is not accurate.
Yeah, that's what I was telling one of my relatives, because she's older than me, and she's like, it didn't show up. I said, it's fake anyway. I said, it's just for, I think, entertainment purposes.
That's it. And they probably put that on the packages. I don't know. I've never ordered one, but I'm sure they put on the package that it's for entertainment purposes only.
Probably do. But I found a lot of it's weird that people that I know that are related to me that have a tree on Ancestry, it shows that how we're kin, your second cousin or third, whatever. And then got all these 400-something people that's your third cousins or fourth cousin.
It gets bigger and bigger, I'm sure. Yeah.
But I won't hold you up. I'm going to let you go. I'm going to go look at your videos and go back to your page. And I'm going to type my own document. It's going to take me all day because I can't type, but I'm going to do it.
Well, in the past, it was taking days and sometimes weeks to get a document just the way I wanted to get it, but it's worth it. It's worth it to take the time to do the study on the word and look it up, in the dictionary, the older dictionaries. And
I got a couple from the 1800s.
Mm-hmm. Do you know about Moorish American Consulate's public records page?
No, ma'am, I sure don't.
Okay, Moorishe American Consulate Public Records page is a page where you can upload any of your documents freely as often as you want to publish them on the public record. And it's on Facebook. So you just go to Facebook and put in Moorishe American Consulate Public Records page. And you just look through there and see all the documents and things, and some of the documents you'll agree with and some you won't, etc. But but each of the we're all on the same timeline, but we're at different places on that timeline.
Oh, okay.
And so,
and I might be on the page because it's a sister that she's putting documents on every day almost. Putting people on notice. That might be the same page. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
it's called Moorishe American Consulate Public Records, and there are thousands of documents on that page that Moors have uploaded, and you can just look through the documents that others are doing and the court actions and all of that that other Moors are doing, so that you can see how things, how they do theirs, and then do your own study. When you see things out there, no matter what, don't take anyone's word for anything. Do your own study. Do your own study always, so that just like the ancestors showed you the book with Alabama in it, which I just love that. Usually when I see things like that, I take a photo with my phone and put it on Facebook, so that the Moors can see that yes, that really does. Don't believe them when they tell you that that's not what that is. You see how she did that, but knew right where to point you to?
Yep, exactly. There's another time I was in a used bookstore, and I was asking the ancestors, I said, I need proof that Alabama is a corporation. And this used bookstore is so junky. I mean, they got probably thousands of books. It's not organized in no kind of way or whatever. So I was just asking the ancestors, and show me something, help me find something. And I found the Acts of Alabama 1970-something book, and I just bought it. I didn't flip through it or nothing. I said, I'll just get this book. So finally one night I was just reading it and studying, and my eyes got bigger and bigger, and I was like, God, here it is right here. I was like, my God. And it was done under Lurleen B. Wallace, George Wallace's wife. And I was like, here it is. They had the written code, and I was like, I just screamed. I called one of the Moors that was here at the time. He's from Chicago, but he's gone back. And I called him screaming. I said, I found where Alabama, when it became a corporation. He said, no, you didn't. I said, yes, I did. Yes, I did. It was so funny. So I have that book put up in the safe. Yes.
That's good. That's good. We never would have thought that we would even be looking for books like that. When I was coming up, we used to run from old raggedy bookstores, what we thought was old raggedy bookstores, but that's where you find those jewels. Goodwill and places like that, you can find some old books there that tell the truth in some of those books. Sometimes you have to get beyond the colorability, but you will find some truth in there because they are obligated to tell the truth, but they couch it in a bunch of color and fakeness and fraud and all of that.
Oh, yeah, that's the way they had the Alabama thing. They was talking about the TVA. They had it coded and all kind of stuff, and then he finally, at first he's like, I don't see it. Then he found like, oh, my God. He said, how did you code through that? I said, the ancestor. It was the ancestor.
Yes. Yes, that's why keeping our energies clear and peaceful is the key, because they can speak through that type of energy. It attracts the answers.
Here it is.
And there's a lot going on out there on social media and all of that we need to absolutely stay away from and shut down. The negativity about the nation and all of that, stay away from that stuff so you can hear, because that's all that stuff is distraction to keep you from getting the answers you need.
Yeah, that's true.
And there are some that are put in through, and they'll pick up the phone and call and dump some trash energy into what you're doing. You hang up the phone, Hey, I gotta go. I got stuff to do. We're not going to feed into that, And And keep seeking and doing your demonstrations and watch the ancestors give you everything you need.
It's just like,
every
my
answer
family
you're looking for.
The Avions are so fascinated with my family history, which we do have a rich history here, and and they so-called Native American blood and all that. So the local newspaper here did a write-up on me in 2016, a 3-week write-up, and then they did another one in July. I had a whole full page, and then they was honoring women in our county. So they honored me for the history, the work that I done on my family history, and they had a big exhibit at the Indian Museum here, and they chose me to have an exhibit. I had the biggest exhibit there, and it was just awesome. I was just honored. I was like, I'm so honored to show off my ancestors and know their life and how they lived and all of that stuff. So that just blew my mind that they picked me for that, and then I had, a huge exhibit out there to showcase my ancestors.
That's beautiful. That is absolutely beautiful.
Yes,
we have a very rich, wealthy history. If you think about, when we really, it blows my mind when I think about the fact that everywhere you look,
we're there.
Yes, we're there. Where we've been running around searching for Black Adonia, and looking for Negro land and all of that. And then we look back first to who we really are, and it's everywhere. Here in this territory, there are pyramids everywhere.
On the mounds. I want to see the pyramids, but out there where the exhibit was, it's big old Indian mound. And when I did the family reunion in 2016, we came from this place called Kenlock. It's Bankhead Forest now, but my ancestors called it Kenlock. And we did a bus tour out there, and it's this huge rock shelter. It will blow your mind to see it. I've never seen anything like this that the universe created, but it has ancient paleo writing on the wall. So the first time I went out there, the tour guide took me out there. You wouldn't even know it's there. It's just hidden. I can't even describe it. I'm about to get in tears now, but he was taking me out there, and he was showing me the ancient paleo writing, and he said, this is probably one of your ancestors carved this in there, and he don't admit it. He said, people should, it was an Avion. He said, people should be ashamed of yourself. He said, y'all been here forever. He said, this is y'all land. He said, this is y'all's writing, this carving in this rock.
Wow.
And it just blew my mind. Yes.
Wow.
It's beautiful. Oh, it's a beautiful out there, and the waterfall out there. And my third great grandfather had 160 acres of land. And there was a shootout between them and this white family. My third great uncle blew this white man's head off his body, and they didn't put him in jail or try to do nothing because everybody hated these Albions. But they did. Some of them did run them off their land.
Yeah, call them Albions. Don't call them white. Call them Albions because they're really not white. We're the white, the sovereign white.
And this other Albion, he's passed away now. He wanted to meet a Hubbard. That's our surname, Hubbard. And I went to see him. And he finally, when he stepped on his front porch, I introduced myself, and he said, I've waited 40 years to meet a Hubbard. And I was like, wow. But he was telling me about the land. He said, that land lawfully still belongs to you all. You all need to fight for it. And at the time, I was thinking that would take years. Yeah.
No, it won't. It's still yours. It's still yours because the documents that they used to take it, or supposedly take it, are fraudulent documents. They have capital letters on. That's how they did it. Well, the land patents, and this is something that we've been looking at with regard to the land patents. They did the same thing with land patents that they did with everything else. We gave land patents to certain of us here. For example, let's just say I have a daughter, and she gets married, or not married, but she goes into matrimony, and she and her consort have heirs. And so we say, okay, our family has 5,000 acres here in this territory that is ours. We're going to give you 160 of those. And we would give them an all lowercase in red patent.
Wow.
Land patent that says this is yours and this is what the land is all about. You can grow this and this and this on the land, or it's better for grazing or whatever. And then what the Albions did was they even took land patents and capitalized them and claimed them and changed their name from their Slav name, which could have been anything, you know, it could have been any Slav name. They would change it to Hubbard and put Hubbard in all capital letters or capital H and the rest lowercase, and then they would claim to be the Hubbard and throw the real ones would be gone. You all would be gone somewhere else or thrown in jail or something like that.
Wow.
And they would claim to be you.
Wow.
Yep. That's how they did it. That's how they did it. And all we have to do to make that right is produce the original title, which we all have because we're the originals. All we have to do is do an original affidavit on government letterhead, signed in red in all lowercase letters. That takes you out of the capitalist system, so that means they can't put your title on the stock market because you're not animals. That's what stock is all about.
Wow. So the land patent that I have on my domicile is lowercase and uppercase, but of course all black letters and signed in with blue ink or black ink.
So just do it all in red and all lowercase letters on Moorish government letterhead. Hopefully you have Moorish National Republic Federal Government letterhead. It's in red and all lowercase letters. If you don't have it, let me know. I'll get it to you.
No, I don't.
Okay.
No.
So here's what we will do. If you want to, I'll give you my number, and if you'll text me your email, I'll send the letterhead to you. Do you have something to write with so you can write my phone number down so you can shoot me a text and say, please send me the letterhead, and I'll put your email address in it, and I'll get you the Moorish government letterhead.
Okay. I'm ready.
334
294
9828.
9828.
Yes.
Okay.
And just say, please send the Moorish government letterhead to my email, and I'll do it. All heirs need to have their yes. We are all speaking with one voice. We've been speaking with one voice. And when we all are all using the same letterhead, that's how everything has been so monumental, is we've all been using the same letterhead.
Been in unity.
And that way everywhere, like, in unity, those fake judges, for example, we all know that there'll be a fake judge in Alabama territory, and his brother will be a fake bailiff in Georgia territory, and the fake judge will see Moorish National Republic Federal Government letterhead in his territory, and he'll tell his fake bailiff, hey, this came through today. I got notification by the Moors. Do you all see this kind of stuff coming through? And he'll be like, yep, we see the same letterhead. Right over here, they're here too. They're here too. And that's happening all over the earth, actually. They're saying they're here too. Oh, it's more, they're here too. They're here too.
Because I heard Donald Trump even made a statement about we need to wake up because he knows that, that we're Moors, of course. All of them do, I guess. But they
do.
Yeah. He does.
They all know. We were the only ones who did not remember.
If I remember, I used to take Kung Fu. I used to take Kung Fu classes, and we was warming up, and this Albion was beside me, and we was talking about something. He said, do you prefer, he said, I don't mean to be disrespectful, he said, you prefer to be called black or African American? I said, you don't call me neither one because I'm neither one of those. He said, what you mean? He said, what do you want to be called? I said, I'm Moorish American. He said, how did you know that? How did you know that? And I said, oh, it's okay for you to know who I am, and I'm not supposed to know. He said, you're the first person. He said, he said, we teach our kids that when growing up. He said, we have books about it in our house. And he said, You are the first. He said, I promise I never. He said, I'm sorry. I'm just totally shocked. He said, it was just like he wanted to get on his knees, like worship me. He said, I'm just shocked. And he said, I respect it. And he said, I'm going to say something to you. And he said, please don't take it the wrong way. And I said, what? He said, that's why a lot of people in the world don't respect what he called so-called black people, because they don't know who they are. He said they walking around, they don't know who they are.
I'm so glad that that's not the case anymore.
Yes,
I'm so glad we know now.
Yes. And I want to learn everything I can so I can help my family and friends and whoever, strangers.
Yeah. You know, they will come, for example, with my family, who I absolutely adore, my kin. I love them so much. I have 6 brothers and 2 sisters. One of my sisters has transitioned, but I don't try to win them over, or, you know, I don't try to evangelize or anything like that with them, because one thing I know about all Moors, and in particular my kin, is that they're very smart. And when they get pushed into a corner, they're going to come out with truth. That's the thing about this whole waking up process, is that some of us are waking up gently, you know, because it doesn't take much to wake us up. We were looking for truth anyway. And for others, because of the, you know, because of the quote unquote white Jesus thing, or the fake education system, or the fiat system, or any other of those fake scarecrows that they put in front of us to stop us from waking up, it may take some more to go through some of that before they wake all the way up and determine that they need to state who they really are. So the wake up is going to be easier for some and harder for others.
Others, yeah. Wow,
but we get to determine whether it's going to be easy or hard by the energy that we choose to have and choose to use. That's why I'm constantly clearing energy, making sure my energy stays clear. You know, sometimes, like I've had it where someone will pick up the phone and they will, you can feel when someone's about to dump a bunch of garbage on you, maybe about another Moor, or about, it could be about anything. You can feel it sometimes. And whenever I get that feeling, I stop the conversation and give an opportunity to not go in that direction, because we need to be focused on solutions. You can state the problem in 1 or 2 sentences. And then we can talk about, okay, we know that that's the problem. Now the solution is nationality, because that's going to be the solution anyway. When we save ourselves, and I know this about all of our kin, when we save ourselves, they're going to take notice. They're going to take notice because they're not stupid.
That quote in the Bible where they tell Jesus, save yourself.
Yes. It says, save yourself from this untoward generation. That's what the Bibliotext text says about that. Save yourself from this untoward generation. That means they're not going anywhere. That system collapsed. It's finished. It's done. And our prophet, Noble Drew Ali, said, I gave you everything you need to save a nation. Now take it and save yourself. And that's the thing. You save the nation when you save yourself.
Wow, that's powerful. You know, I had the book Exhuming a Nation. I bought it like 12 years ago when it was $49.
Yes.
And I have to read it again.
Yes, any information that talks about, and I honor, I believe it's Pleasant Bay who wrote that one. And then also Asaru Aline, Dr. Aline L. Bay, wrote some great books. They've been demonstrating and knowing who they are for many years. And I honor their work because they wrote, and of course, Grand Sheikh Taj Tariq Bey.
Oh, yeah.
You
I
know,
watched him last night.
they've been
That's 4
demonstrating
o'clock.
for so long, waiting for the rest of us to get it and to wake up and to know who we are. And now we're waking up, and that's exciting to me. You know,
Yeah, it is to
that
me too. Because I talked to this brother from Texas, and he's a young guy, and we met on Facebook, and we talk all the time about how we should do this and how we should go about doing this. So I can't wait to tell him I talked to you. I don't know if he knows you or not, but I'm going to find out when I get off the phone. And he probably does, because he's more knowledgeable than I am in this area.
Well, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here because it's important that we continue to talk to one another and to hear one another and get used to being around one another. This coming Saturday, we're the Moors that are in the West Territory that are in this, within just a short radius here. This Saturday we're going to get together because we really don't get together enough. And when you find Moors in your territory, especially if you're out on social media, you can put out there, are there any Moors in whatever territory you're in? And Moors will start to... Yeah.
I got one.
And they'll... Well, and that's all it takes is because that's the 2 or 3 witnesses that you need, And we're going to get together this Saturday because we need to, because we have not been doing as much of that because, we've all been involved in freeing ourselves, demonstrations and things like that. But it's time for us to start coming together regularly in all the territories. Coming together, even if it's just to have a little potluck. It doesn't have to be anything, whatever.
Well, if you know of anybody or come across somebody that lives close to where I am, please let me know. But I'll put it back out there again.
What part of Alabama territory?
North Alabama.
Close to
North Alabama. Decatur, Alabama.
Okay. That's good. That's good. There are Moors out there, too. There are Moors out there who are demonstrating. And some will even hear this and come on the calls, and state where they're from so that you all can connect, So, yeah, they'll come on some of the calls coming up. And I think at some time soon we need to have a connect call where we just say where we're from and begin exchanging information and all of that so that we can continue to stay connected together because the government, we all need to know who we are. We're the law and we're the government. We need to know.
Exactly.
Where's the other government?
In Alabama, they definitely know who we are. They definitely know who we are.
Yeah. The whole earth has been waiting for us to wake up, actually.
Yeah. Yep, they have. They have.
And they all know who we are. They've known since before we were even here. Before we manifested on this plane, they knew who we were.
Yeah, because I was explaining to a friend last night, telling him that the slavery story was a lie. I said, we were always here. I said, they just kidnapped us and brought us to the southern states and changed our name and sold us and separated us from our families. I said, even Alex Haley said that a false was made up. Yeah, and he did. He just tripped him up.
Now, I'll say this too, and we're not mad at him. He was just doing what his masters told him to do. But, with regard to Alex Haley and all that, we're not mad at him. He was just, But anyway, and just like the rest of them, the rest of those 501c3 skull and bones, Negro leaders, so quote unquote. They were just doing what their masters told them to do. We're not mad at them because we're awake now and we know better. But even that thing where they show us picking cotton and things like that, listen, the ancestors made it real clear to me recently that the reason we were picking cotton is because we owned the land.
Wow. Wow.
And the Albions came along with their whole capitalism and taxing the land situation and moved us off the land that way. But we were out there because we wanted to. That was our land. It
I was
still
telling
is.
somebody, I said we were doing so much better then than now. I don't know. It's just
Yes.
something. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's something.
Yeah. And then they came with their word magic.
Mhm.
And with the word that's why the language is so important. That's why the language is so important. In fact, it's the most important. You know, we catch a little bit of more are getting it now with regard to ancient English. Ancient English is nothing more than, and I can't say nothing more than because it's the all really. It's the thing that it's one of those keys to freedom is any word that the corporates use, the way they spell it, we just change one letter in the spelling. And you only have to do that with one word in a sentence. Just like they taught us to put, you know, at the beginning of every sentence, just put one capital letter. Because they knew it would change the nature of the whole sentence. That's why they taught us that.
Wow.
They said don't ever start a sentence with anything other than a capital letter.
And we're not even supposed to be doing that.
Nope. We do just the opposite of what they said.
Wow. You said something
and that
earlier
changes the nature of the whole sentence when it's in all lowercase letters.
You said something earlier about after a vowel you put two consonants or you don't put two consonants. You said something earlier.
So think about the word affidavit, which we use often. All that means when a word starts with a vowel and it has two consonants after it, and this is part of that parsing syntax piece, which we can do it that way or not do it that way. We're sovereign. It doesn't matter. We're sovereign. But when you have a word that starts with a vowel and has two of the same consonant after it, like affidavit or officer, it means no contract.
Oh, okay.
They say it means no. It means no for them. That means don't do that. They're the ones that are bound by the word. We're set free by the word. That's why it means no contract with us, because we're set free from all contracts when we speak by affidavit.
Oh, okay.
And that's why we don't call them officer, because that's not what they are. That's contracting with them when we call them that. We're the officer, and we use the affidavit.
Wow.
Yes. And Justice Wilson put in the chat, appellation. That's right. That means we don't have a contract with your name. Slave, Slav, we don't have that. That's what that means. That's what that's all about. Wow. And that's what parsing syntax is. So we know about the things that the one that you brought up earlier and those ones in that group. I don't know them. I've never seen them, or anything like that. I don't know who they are, but I've seen a few of their things that they put out there, because all they're doing again is looking at our ancient records that we were not supposed to know about. And trying to translate it into something they can use. But even, for example, I saw one of them say, well, we can have a allodial title, but we just have to spell it without one of the L's. So instead of A-L-L-O-D-I-A-L, they spell it A-L-O-D-I-A-L, which is wrong still. And they can't hold a allodial title. Never have, never will, because you must be sovereign to do that. But they wanted to take one of the L's out because they know it means no contract too, but it's no contract when a sovereign uses it. When we use that term, we're telling any corporate that this is not a corporate situation. It's a sovereign situation.
Wow.
And that's where they get all of that from.
Okay, because I know this one guy sent me the book. It cost like $200, but he sent it to me PDF and how they break down the words and what means no and this all that kind of stuff. And I was like,
with us, no means no. With us, jurisdiction means no. That's why we say if a Moor woke up and the only thing they knew about was how to invoke sovereign jurisdiction, they would prosper in everything they do.
Wow.
All you have to
Wow.
do is know jurisdiction. Know that you are the sovereign jurisdiction and know how to tell them no by the language you use jurisdictionally. Because that's the point of the language, is to keep up what we say in the proper jurisdiction. We're not in capitalism jurisdiction, so we don't use capital letters, because capital letters are not even letters, they're words. You know how they say a picture is worth 1,000 words? Okay, capital letters are actually glyphs, hieroglyphs, pictures. They're pictures. That's why when you see the hieroglyphs, you see things that look like capital letters, but they're shaped different ways, etc. And in some of them, you will see capital letters. That's not just a letter, it's words.
Wow.
And they were changing our sovereign appellations to a bunch of words.
Wow. And you're the first person, more emperor that I've talked to that's aware of Russell J. Goode. And I was like, wow, she knows who I'm talking about.
I study a lot. I study a lot. And a lot of Moors know about, a lot more Moors. And the more Moors you talk to, the more Moors that you will come across who've heard of a lot of those who seek to hypothecate our sovereign status. And we're not mad at them. If I was them, I would want to be us too.
Yep,
I
exactly.
would.
I remember when I was in school, Albion asked me if I could be any other color or race, what would I be? I said I would still want to be what I am. I wouldn't want to be anything less.
Oh, they knew you were trouble. They knew that the minute you heard the truth, you were going to wake up. They knew
in my
it.
community, they say I'm in my community, because it's all just about Albions out here, and they think I'm racist and all that. I said, just because I'm proud of who I am, don't make me a racist.
There's no such thing as race, actually, and they know that. When they say that, they say it, and then they go home and laugh about the word racism, because they know there's no such thing as race. Either you're us or you're a citizen. That's it. Either you're sovereign born, or you're a citizen, or you're them, that citizen piece. That's why they're focusing on race so much, because they want to keep perpetuating that lie.
Yep. Wow.
No such thing as race. And when you say that, they look at you real funny, because they know you know. Either you have 24 chromosomes, like the sovereigns do, where we have 23, and then the God chromosome, which is the light, the white. Okay? Either you have that, or you have 46 chromosomes, which is somewhere between us and a monkey. Monkeys have 48 chromosomes. Then those ones that we created have 46 chromosomes. That's why they taught 46 chromosomes in their education camps.
So how many?
We don't have 46 chromosomes.
We don't have what?
We don't have 46 chromosomes.
Oh,
that's why they talk about 23andMe, because 23 chromosomes come from mother, and then they have another 23 that come from their earthly father, the Pope or whomever. Whereas we have, ours comes from on high.
Wow.
That's why their DNA science is not even competent for us. Not competent.
Wow. So you think the vaccine thing is only a distraction, or would they actually try to come to you?
Of course it is for us, because we don't take them. Why would God need a vaccine when God is the healer of all? We already have all the cures within our own bloodline.
Yep, that's true.
All we have to do in order to bring those cures to our own selves is purify our bodies with water. And when we purify our bodies with water, let's just say, we'll say a 3-day water fast, water only, or a 5-day water only fast. Or if they're telling you that you have whatever, cancer or whatever, if they're telling you you have all of those types of things, Dr. Sebi told us, 30 days or 40 days of just water, lots and lots of water. No food, just water. Or if you eat only green things and water, water, water. Now we have our sovereign dietitian, and dietitian is not the right word. Nutritionist is a better word because she's all about nutrition. Princess Alu is on the call here too. And again, if you want your body to see, disease comes from acidity. If our bodies are acidic, they start to show. It shows in our skin. It shows in the way our breath smells. It shows in the way we smell. When we're acidic, all of that stuff becomes pungent and strong. So all it takes is a water fast. If you know people who have a problem with halitosis, bad breath, all they have to do is go on a water fast and cut that meat out. Or just cut it out. If they stop meat for 2 weeks, or stop meat for 3 days, or just go on a pure water fast for 3 to 5 days, nothing but water, no food, just water. All of that stuff, if in us, would clear up.
Wow. I have a sister that has diabetes and high blood pressure, and I'm gonna have to tell her about this.
See, the water makes our body pH go back to alkaline, like it should be.
Oh, okay.
And this is not from. I'm not guessing about this. I've done it. I'm not guessing about this. I've done it.
Wow.
And regularly we do fast, water only fast. But I grew up fasting.
Oh, okay.
You know, and those who know of my kinship history know that, you know, even my father, he went 40 days without food. He did water only, water, lots of water.
Wow.
And my father also did a 21-day fast where he only drank water. He was very, very healthy. And then in his final years, he kind of got off of that and was eating restaurant food and things like that. That took his health to a different place. But, you know, fasting, for us, fasting and water is the key. Those are keys. Those are keys. You know.
Wow.
So,
that is amazing.
You know,
oh gosh, I thank the ancestors for me seeing you this morning.
Islam. And I thank the ancestors for you seeing us this morning too, because now we can see you too. Islam. Islam. I'm glad you're here. Your energy is absolutely awesome. It's awesome.
Well, thank you. So it's yours. And I can see it and feel it through your videos. I was like, wow, I got to talk to her. I got to talk to her and then get on Facebook, and there you pop up.
I'm here. I'm here.
Manifest it.
Yes, this is nation building. This is what one of us at a time. And the more we all do this, come on, no one can be against us. No one can be against the heirs.
Wow.
All we have to do is say.
I'm really, 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 really pumped right now.
Yeah,
I can't wait to get in here on my computer and type up my my declaration. Get in touch with the brother and get the information from you, and we'll text you my email address. Well, I'm excited so I can help somebody else when they're ready.
Yes, let's all listen. Who can be against us when we're like that? Who can be? No one.
Nothing or nobody.
Again, this energy shift, it has some of us going within and being very quiet and calm. And we get it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they need to do. Those sovereigns know what they need. No one can tell a sovereign what to do. None of us can. We can't tell each other what to do. We can assist and make suggestions. And I'm telling you, at this time that we're at right now, if we would press through that feeling, and that's really what I wanted to say about that, the energy shift, because, again, we were so attached to that whole corporate system that fell completely last week on October 8th and 9th time frame.
Wow.
That we're feeling the pull of it being fallen. However, if we will press through that feeling and continue to stand and demonstrate and do what we need to do, the feeling will go away and the ancestors will give us, because see, the ancestors are grounding us right now in terms of, okay, pay attention and then demonstrate. Because the ancestors are saying they have some things that they want to show us that are keys to our vast estate.
Wow.
And all they're saying is, because my enthusiasm can sometimes be on super high. And when I'm like that, it's good. I love it. But I have to, slow things down just a little bit so that I can hear the ancestors, because they're about to give another key,
I'm the same way. I get on a high so high.
Yeah.
Come back down.
Yeah, come down so you can do so you can hear, we have to come back so we can hear what the ancestors have to say, what's next for us, And that's what I love about our ancestors is they know exactly what we need. They know how to keep us doing and feeling and being ourselves, I love it.
I know the Avians that know my family history been trying to get me to write a book, and I've been wanting to write a book about our family because it'll make a terrific movie. And so a lady was telling me the other day, she said, I saw your article in the paper, she said, that was just awesome. She said, you should write a book. I said, I started and I put it down. I said, I probably don't have any 10 pages. I said, I don't know why I can't just finish it. And I said, I can just see a movie now. And I don't know if you're familiar with Lucas Black, but he's a famous actor, but he's from my hometown. And I said, I would love to somebody. Yeah, he played in he played on CSI Miami. He played in the movie Sling Blade. He played in so many movies, but he's a phenomenal actor. But I would say I would love for him to play in my movie if I got a movie. And she said, well, she said, I'm best friends with his sister. She said, if you write that book, she said, I would definitely get it to him. I said, you got to be kidding me.
Well, Empress, I think that your demonstrations will definitely give you material. Your sovereign demonstrating your nationality will give you material for your book, I promise.
Wow. Yep.
Because it's through our demonstrations that we even, that we're even here, sitting here, sharing and, nation.
Wow. Yep. Well, all right, Empress, I won't keep you any longer.
Yes,
and I appreciate your time so much.
I'm glad you're here. I mean, I feel like we're talking on the phone. That's what it feels like instead of it being a call that goes on the record, because we put things on YouTube.
I forgot we were on a conference call.
It doesn't feel like it. It feels like you and I have just been chatting.
Exactly.
But exactly. I love it. I love it. It seems it's a conference call.
So you can. When I text you, you can save my number. You can call me anytime you want to, and especially if you come across some more Moors, you can give them my number. That's in this area or wherever. Yeah. And I don't mind.
And I'm actually planning on coming to Alabama sometime in the next. It'll be about 6 months. In the next 6 months.
Okay, you have to let me know you're coming to Montgomery.
I will. I
think Montgomery's like 2.5 hours away from me, I think.
I usually whenever I go anywhere, I just put it on social media that I'm going to be somewhere. Even if I'm just going to visit family or friends, I'll say I'm going to be there, so that if there are any more that, you know, that we can connect and exchange some of this awesome energy that we have in our nation, that we connect, you know.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Islam.
Well, definitely contact me.
Islam, I will. So for those who are feeling those energies, press through. Do the demonstrations, do the study, press through, so that you can, because again, the way that this is working now is that our nation we have a blank canvas in terms of we can do whatever we want to do.
Mm-mm.
And it's going to prosper, and it's going to grow. Whatever we do,
Wow.
it's going to prosper and grow.
Wow.
We just have to keep our energy clear. And if there was one thing that I could, you know, wave a magic wand and everybody know or do, it's energy clearing.
Mhm.
If I could, you know, all Moors need to know how to do energy clearing, so that when you get ready to do your demonstration,
chakra.
Really, it's however you choose to energy clear. Some people, it works that way for some. And for others, they energy clear by going for a walk and smelling the fresh air. And then other people,
outside and sitting in front of the river, go to the park and sit facing the river.
Yes. So it just depends. And for some people, it's just lying in bed, looking, you know, and just getting in touch with peaceful energy. You know, and then for others, it's a conglomeration of things. And then for others, it's singing, it's music, you know.
Yeah, mine is that old school music too, putting on that 70s music. And sometimes classical music. I play classical music.
Yes. Empress, Princess, can you say a little bit more about that in the chat? Because she just put something in the chat that's actually... That will assist in the whole returning back to alkaline state and homeostasis in our bodies, and also energy clearing.
Okay.
Yes. Islam. I just put in the text chat, releasing anger by detoxing the liver. The liver is the organ that holds anger. And a lot of times when I'm dealing with my clients, if, like for instance, if they're having issues with lungs and they don't smoke, I do the emotional connection to the organ, and with the lungs, it's holding sadness, and the kidneys hold fear. So this is traditional Chinese medicine, where if you don't have a physical ailment with the organ that's causing physical harm, then we look to the emotional ailment that's causing physical harm to the organ, if you get that. And so the dandelion root, the dandelion leaf, celery seed with water. There are many simple ways to detox the liver. And I'll tell you what happens when you detox the liver if you have a lot of anger. When you detox the liver, say for instance, if you just drink lemon water for 2 weeks straight, you know, without anything, that liver is going to start detoxing, and you're going to cry out of the blue for no reason at all that you think. But that's a signal to you from your liver that the detoxification is finished. It's like a heavy lifting off your shoulders. You're just going to feel, after that cry, you're going to feel a release in the body. And it's going to take a lot more to get you angry than what it was before that. And so when you do that, people can't come to you with craziness and nonsense. And earlier I have put in the text chat Nehemiah on the wall. When Nehemiah got permission from the king to go rebuild his kin wall, they would come to him with gossip. Oh, Nehemiah, did you hear about this and this and that? He told everybody every time, I'm here to build a wall. I don't have time for foolishness. If you want to get on the wall and help us build, I have time for you. But if you don't, then I don't want that. And so a lot of times people will dump their energy because we transfer energy. They will dump their negative energy or entities at your feet, and then you have a struggle the rest of the day, you know, working through that. And so we have to make sure that we're keeping ourselves clean, our energy clean, no war energy. And when you have a clean energy, you have to keep the magnetic energy clean too, because it's going to be a magnet drawing anything. So you have to block off all that is negative. However you do that, and you will go through the day like there is no problem, because there won't be any problems. You're not adopting any problems. You know, I was talking to a client yesterday, and I told him, I said, listen, you're going to have a stroke within 7 days if you don't take these people off your back. Because the back, you have issues with the back, usually I can pinpoint it back to somebody who's carrying the load financially of people that they don't need to be carrying the load for. And then you will learn when you tell someone no, they will go find someone else and nag that person to death. So just pretend like you're not available, just to have your own peace of mind, just to have your energy clear. Because people will bring their fight to your door and leave it there, and then you find yourself fighting somebody's fight that has nothing to do with you. And so those are the sneaky ways that the energy is dirtied, I would say, like that. So just, you know, if you can do a water fast, you might do 1 or 2 days, and then, you know, if you start to feel faint or whatever, just drink some soup. But try to go as long as you can to detach yourself from negativity, because like Priscilla said, this is a time now, we have a clean slate, and this is when our imagination needs to be at the max. Imagination is creation, and we know that everything that you think up, it comes down. So whatever you don't want in your experience while you're in this stage of creating, don't allow it into the doors at this time. I yield. Thank you.
Islam. Yes. Well stated in terms of, you know, sneaky energy. That energy will sneak in, and, you know, what you don't want is to allow that energy to sneak in, any negative energy like that. See, you know, when we were talking about positive energy previously, we had people say that, and it wasn't people, it was just one or two, who said that, you know, you need negative energy because, you know, we're supposed to have balance. Well, we've had negative energy for the last, I would say about 400 years or so, something like that. And so we're balancing that out now with 400 years more, and actually permanent, not just 400 years, but permanent, peaceful, sovereign, natural, divine energy. And that's what we are working towards now. We don't have to balance out negative energy in terms of trying to make it happen, because it's been happening. We were living in that when we thought we were Negro, black, colored, and African American. So now we can push for, and actually not push, but manifest. Manifestation is a lot easier than pushing. Manifesting is a lot easier. We don't really have a fight other than with that which was within us when we thought we were Negroes and black and colored and African American. That was the fight. The fight is over. We're awake now. So all we have to do now, and especially at this time right here, is just open up and go for it. Whatever it is, study, and then demonstrate. And watch the ancestors manifest the best of everything that we want and need. The entire estate is ours. And now is the time for us to manifest. The manifestation energy is on the earth for us.
Islam,
Empress.
Islam Empress, what you said earlier also was so powerful. You know how I am around you, I write everything down, but what you said was, even if the ancestors looked at the intention, even if you think that your paperwork is wrong, they will still make sure that everything you intended will go through. Islam, are you?
Yes. Because when we first woke up, we were doing affidavits, and we were putting it the way we were taught in the POW schools, and the animal education centers. We were using the first letter capitalized and the rest of the letters in lowercase or etc. and black ink. But the ancestors still honored our energy, because we were sincere and we were thinking about everyone, not just ourselves. That's that's why we do the work we do, because it's about everyone, not just any one of us. It's about the whole, the all, everyone. We had to save ourselves first, and then, just talk about how we did that. That's how all of this comes about with each of us. Is we save ourselves first, and then we tell about how we saved ourselves. And it's kind of like the same thing as when we were growing up in church, and they said, "Oh, you got saved last night. You go and tell somebody." Well, now we save ourselves, and we talk about it. It is a testament, testimony, all of that. Testament. Testament is a test of the mental. Government is how we govern our mental. That's it, testamental. That's what and when you pass the testamental, you talk about it. That's why it's called testament. Islam. So, thus far, I want to also, I love the energy, love the energy that our nation has right now, because even though some are finding it a little bit harder these days to get up and come out and do and demonstrate, many of us are able to push through that. Most of us are able to push through it and do what we need to do in order to stand. And standing is going to be that way. It was that way previously, where, when you're a 2-year-old, or not a 2-year-old, but if you're 8 or 9 or 10 months old and you're trying to stand, you're using muscles that you have not used before, because you're a baby and you're learning how to stand, or however old babies are. It's been a long time since I had a baby. But, 6 or 7 or 8 months, when babies start to stand, you're using muscles you haven't used before, and it can be a little bit tough. You're a little wobbly at first, But our nation is strong. Our government is strong because we are strong. And so, it's important to push through the collapse of the fake corporate. And the Bibliotech talks about, in these days, everything that can be shaken will be shaken, and everything that stands will stand. That's where we are now. Yes. Everything that can be shaken loose is going to shake loose. Everything that has been here since time immemorial will stand, period. That's the beauty of this time. And we already know what we're made of, all of us. We know what we're made of. So we push through our tests and we stand. So I want to be sure before we're coming down to nearly, Empress, did you want to say something? Empress,
yes, Islam.
Yeah,
I have a testimony.
Yes.
So I'm working in like a little hick town here in California, and I have my moorishe plates on my car, and you know the sheriff, you know, and they routinely pass by my car, you know, just that's their route, and so you know they pass my car, they see my plates, one sheriff waves, and one day I get a ticket on my car because I parked where the person who think they own the place normally parks. So, and so I get a ticket on my car. And then it says, your car is subject to be towed. You ain't got no tags. You ain't got no, you know. So I emailed the undersheriff and said, look, you know, I already took my car out the system and blah, blah. And, you know, here's the information about my car. And, you know, and one of your people put a ticket on my car, and I sent him the picture of the ticket, and I put not under contract, you know, in a slanted direction, and I sent everything off to him, and then I sent a couple more things off to him, like the resolution, House Resolution 75, and the Sundry Free Moors Act, and so then later on that day, you know, I kept coming out here to check on my car, and because you know we don't know if they're gonna be ignorant, hard-headed, or what. So, so I checked that day, and then I checked a little less the next day, and then, you know, maybe check one more time, and, you know, they left my car alone. And so, I said, what this means to me is where their head is at out here when they see a Moor. So that, you know, that let me know, you know, if I speak to them, you know, formally, an affidavit or whatever, you know, this is what I'm going to get, you know, at least from law enforcement, you know, and we're the law. We're the law, yes,
Empress.
Yes,
they know that.
Yes, yes,
they know.
So yes, and so, but it took, you know, one of his knuckleheads came over here. I don't know why he did it. He put a ticket on my car. But they left it alone. When I spoke and let them know who I was, they left it alone. So yeah, I just wanted to say a little tidbit. I yield.
Islam. You know what? All we have to do is speak competently and peacefully, and you did that.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
That.
I said, your guy he put a ticket on my car and blah, blah, blah. You know, here's my information. I said, peace and love, put it at the bottom, you know. Because I don't mean no harm, but don't do me, because
all of that,
you know,
all of that, Islam,
yeah,
all of that, Islam, Empress. Listen, we can't lose. There's no wrong way for us to demonstrate. All we have to do is demonstrate our nationality, and it's a wrap.
Right. Yeah.
That's all we have to do.
Yeah, it really is. It's like because I'm still dealing with my grandson being stolen and stuff like that, and we're doing all kind of affidavits. So they're playing hardball. But my daughter says the ancestors got them being stubborn so they can be an example, you know. And I know a lot of times they do that, you know, so that so they can get a good whooping at the end and stuff. And so they have been giving us the hardest time, but otherwise, yeah, I think the temperature is right for us, like Noble Drew Ali said. You know, by the time they open up, it'll be in favor of the Moors. So I believe that, and I believe I'm seeing examples of it already. So,
of course we are. You know, Empress, we're going to be tested.
Yes.
You know, all Moors will be tested, and some are not. Some don't want to be tested, but they're going to be tested anyway, because if you're in citizen status and you're not a citizen, even the citizens are going to be tested on out of here. And so
that's true.
We need to They are. They are.
Yeah.
They're going to be tested out of here.
Yeah.
You know.
Because I got two brothers. I got a dreadhead in there working with me, and he seemed like he didn't want to speak to me a couple of days because a Moor, a Moor is in the plantation with him right now. So I was like, oh, you've been cooning, ain't you? Because you don't even want to speak to me. And then so I gave him a little information about us being Moors. And then they all seen the ticket, so they are this is a demonstration that's speaking to everybody, and if you're in citizen status, you don't want to come out, you got two choices. If you see that I'm standing here as a Moor and I'm standing on my square and you don't want to do it, it's only two ways you're gonna go. So like you said, you citizens, I yield again. I am on the call with you guys, but I'm a mute and get back in there and stuff. So.
Yes, Islam, Empress. All we have to do is stand. That's what time it is. It's time for everyone to get under their own vine and fig tree so that we can govern our vast estate properly, competently, peacefully. Those ones that's doing business running around out there throwing paper around, and then the minute we send our sovereign notification, it's this, that, and the third. But we're the law, we're the government, and we're not going anywhere. We're here. We've been here and going to be here. We're here.
Islam.
So Islam, Empress.
Empress, I just wanted to bring up the mailing. My mail seems to be picking up speed. It's taking 2 days now to get there with the sovereign stamp.
Yes, Islam. That's what I'm saying. That other thing is done, so the energies are in our favor 100%, and they really always have been, but now that we're demonstrating who we are, the energies are with us. Those are ancestral energies that we have within us. We can't lose with that. I'm looking forward to next week, October 31st, because we're going to transfer and channel and generate even more of that energy. October 31st, all Moors, no matter what territory that you're in, we're having Moors coming here to Moorish Territory West, here at Seattle, Washington Territory, to go out to the ancient mounds out there so that we just want to welcome the ancestral energies, not that they went anywhere, but we just want them to know we're here and we're with them, and they know it already. But we're going to emphasize that next week, on October 31st. On Saturday, and all of the Moors who are not coming here to this territory on that same day, they're going to go out to the mounds in their territory and just welcome the ancestral energies, welcome the fact that our nation stands, welcome the fact that we know we're not Negro, Black, colored, and African American, and that the land is ours. And generate as much ancestral energy as we can. I'm looking forward to that because as we know, and we stated this previously, on October 31st, that is the day that the veil between the dimensions is the thinnest. That's why the fakes used to, they would do things like ghosts, goblins, skeletons, etc., because those are representations of the dimensions that we transition from and to, back and forth. And the veil between those dimensions is thinnest on October 31st. And so we're going to capitalize on that, speaking of that. And when we capitalize, we're just generating energy like we do. That's what our capitalizing on something. Capitalizing for us just means we're going to make it go on high, on nuclear, on super. We add velocity. We add quantum entanglement. We add entropy. We add movement. One of the 7 Hermetic principles says that all things vibrate, move, and I'm paraphrasing, but all things vibrate or move. They all do. And so we're going to move energies and welcome those energies into this dimension so that our nation continues to stand and grow, and we're going to do that anyway, but our ancestral energies coming in and us recognizing them, that's what puts the proper energetic vibration, because we want our vibration and our frequency to match that of the earth. And that's what that's all about, is it can match the earth. You know, we've been operating at a frequency that is not our natural frequency. We've been operating that way because we were asleep to who we really are. And now we use the energies from the other dimensions in order to assist us in the grand rising, which is us vibrating at the very same frequency as our earth, as our estate. And when we do that, no one, you can't even tell the difference between us and that which is ours. In other words, everything around us is going to look natural. It's going to be natural instead of fake and corporate and artificial. Everything then goes back to what it should be. It rises to the occasion. So I'm looking forward to that. We're hearing from Moors in other territories who are coming here to our territory. It's actually going to be Olympia, Washington territory, Minor Mounds there, that we're going to be at 12 noon on October 31st. And we're going to make it in a solemn assembly. Solemn just means annual. It means every year. And we're going to make it an every year thing where we do something like that, where we get in touch on that day with the ancestral energies that are within us anyway, but they were lying dormant during our sleep. And now we're awakening them. That's important for us. Very important. Ultimately important. Because that's where we get our information from. The things that we know about ourselves, we didn't get it from Yale or Harvard or any of those other places, even though they had the information and couldn't really use it. We're getting that information straight from the ancestral energy, and then the ancestors do what the Empress talked about before, where when she asserted who she was at the library against what was being said there about it's always been Alabama. And when she did that, the ancestral energy swooped right on in and took her straight to where she needed to go to get what she needed. That's what channeling the ancestral energy and bringing those in and welcoming them and embracing them will do for us. I'm excited because there's some things that
Empress Light just fell off. I know she's probably coming right back, so Islam.
All right.
Brother Michael, did you get your answer from the text chat? You sent a question?
No, I texted for him, but it hadn't got no reply.
Okay. Welcome back, Empress.
Islam. What were you saying, Justice Wilson, about you said something?
Yeah, Brother Michael McGee Bay.
Oh, yes.
He had a stroke, so he's kind of ill in that that area, and he has someone living in his home, and really it's an evil spirit. It's like they're trying to kill him, walk up behind him, scare him, and make him jump. But anyway, they don't want to leave his home, and I was just requesting that maybe we can bring our vibrational spirits together to get this person out of the home, because I don't know how to go about doing it now. I know before the corporation was terminated that maybe the sheriff's department was for the sovereign, but all that is dissolved now. So I don't know exactly how to do it. So I'm just putting it out there that maybe we can just come together and manifest that this spirit leaves his home. Because he's talked to Princess Ali whole help, and he's trying to get his life together, but he went through the consultation, but he won't have the money to do what he needs to do till the first of the month. So it's been a long journey for him.
With regard to what he any moorishe issues, he doesn't need any fiat from what we're saying here. Now his consultation is a different, that's between him and Princess Ali. But the thing that with regard to the person living there, supposedly living there, who is squatting because they're not wanted there any longer, what he needs to do, and this is a suggestion, he needs to do the study on all suggestions, but my suggestion is this. Just hand them it. He can give spoken affidavit and say, invoke jurisdiction, and just say that the domicile is that of a sovereign domicile, and that normally when people are squatting, they're not asserting moorishe nationality. So the person who's squatting, I can pretty much, I don't even know the situation, but I can pretty much tell you that most likely they're not claiming moorishe nationality.
Islam, one of the problems is we lean the apartment complex, and the person that's squatting with him is friends with the manager. She's trying to get him kicked out so she can take over his apartment. So that's what's going on. We leaned him, and we did a court action, but it's he's there by himself, And
so here's what needs to happen, because that kind of thing, what does not need to happen is force. He doesn't need to force, but what he does need to do is channel into ancestral energy and leave her to the ancestors. Leave her to the, and some people don't, they want to discount that ancestral energy, but if ancestral energy can remove Albion, foreign colonizers, like they're doing, they can remove anyone based on our demonstrations and our pure sovereign energy. So there need not be war within the demonstration. Just state who he is, and then tell them that their services are not needed there. The same way we tell Albion foreign colonizers, their services are not needed on our land. And then whenever anything comes up, he should go within ancestrally and Islam. Just a moment. Glad you're here, Justice Daryl. Islam. Glad you're here, Justice Daryl. Go within and ask that the ancestors deal with whoever it is. I can tell you from firsthand experience that it works, and the ancestors will remove them like nobody's business, and he won't even have to put any effort into it. All he needs to do is get that ancestral energy and stay in touch with the ancestors, remain peaceful and calm, and I don't care how belligerent they are. The ancestors will remove them, and whoever it is will be running out of it.
Praise Allah. Praise God.
And I know that sounds, to some people, they may think that that's hocus pocus or whatever, but I'm telling you what I know. I'm not telling you anything that I don't know for first-hand experience.
Man, I agree with you, sister. I'm in agreement with what you're saying.
Those who know energy know that what I'm telling you is true. If we think that belligerent energy is not best defeated by peaceful sovereign energy, we need to keep studying and keep demonstrating, and you will see. It's not a piece of paper that keeps these fakes from doing what they do. The fact that all of us are still here says that there's a greater energy at work. Or else they could have gunned us all down. But our ancestors will not allow that.
Praise Allah.
So stay peaceful and go within in terms of the ancestral energy, and then give them notice. You've done the court actions and things. Know that what you did the job already. It already did the job. And it doesn't matter who they're friends with. Doesn't matter. We're not at war with anyone. Peace will move them out quicker than anything else.
Praise Allah. Thank you. Thank you, Empress.
Yes. Never, ever, ever. Our ancestors mean business, I'm telling you. And any energies that are not sincere, peaceful energies, our ancestors will deal with that. I'm telling you, I'm seeing it. I see it all the time. I see it all the time. And sometimes you will see it and you try to tell people, hey, I know you feel like you're the boss and everything, but you need to calm down, because our ancestral energy is not to be played with by anybody, not even us. We can't even play with the ancestral energy, or they will hem us up. And so, don't ever take ancestral energy because that's the one thing that the Albions yield to. At all times, and I don't care who they are, I don't care how, they can come with 30 guns, and they can't come with 30 guns. Let me not put that spell out there, because they can't. They're not allowed to come at all anywhere. But no matter what they thought they were going to do, it's never going to happen. Our ancestors are not to be played with. When we talk about words having energy and that whole energetic system falling about a week and a half ago, and we're all feeling the pull from that energy, when we press through, our ancestors are going to honor every word we say, and all he needs to do, I can't wait to hear his testament about how fast they get out of there, whoever it is. If they're operating in energy that's not sovereign, peaceful, sincere energy, and if they're not there to assist, they won't be able to stay. So, having said that, we are working on a number of things as a nation to include the manifestation of our enforcement. Speaking of that, we are putting our moorishe vanguard is coming together beautifully. We have some territories that are already ready with vanguard, and then others who are pulling the vanguard together, coming together and unifying, so that we can competently and peacefully express our manifestation of a secure estate. That's really all that is a manifestation that we are willing to secure our own vast estate. And so when we, as we continue to do that, along with other manifestations nationally and internationally and universally that we're doing, the ancestors are going to be right there with us. And that's what next week, October 31st, is all about, is sending forth the ancestral energy so that we can continue to stand and manifest in the manner that they would have us to manifest. And we also know that we are the ancestors' return. They are not outside of us. They're within us. So however we choose to manifest, that's why I say whatever we choose to manifest at this time is going to go exponential. All we have to do is do it. And with that, we'll go ahead and bring the call to a pause here until next week. And we also have our call tomorrow night as well, where we'll be talking about some of the other manifestations that we're doing. I believe we started on the banking piece, and we've been moving in that direction since we introduced the $666 trillion sovereign credit instrument, sovereign creditor instrument, because we are the creditors to all the nations on earth, and we are not the debtors. And we're the head and not the tail, the first and the last. So we're going to continue talking about that as a nation and how to continue manifesting in that manner as well. So peace and grand rising. And for those that we will see on Saturday, I'm looking forward to it. Peace and grand rising. Islam.
Peace and love.
Grand rising to the mothers.
And rise.
Yes,
and rise. Peace to God.
Peace and love.
Peace and love. Grand rising to the Moors.
Peace and love. Yes, grand rising.
Can y'all hear me?
Islam.